Welcome back to Southbound. It's
Yes.
our show, True Life Tales.
From the ATL and Beyond, episode 2.
Episode 2. Today we're Mother's Day themed.
Yes,
so
yes, mom tales.
Moms.
Yeah.
And Brittany, you're a new mom, right? How old is your child?
11 months next week. So she just
God.
got here. Yay.
She is so cute.
Thank you. She's asleep.
You're like, and good.
Yeah. Well, we're so happy to have everyone here tonight. We have 4 great, amazing storytellers.
And 1 musical guest. The show should be about, what do you say, 90 minutes, Britt?
Yeah, that'll be right. That'll be good.
80 to 90.
Yeah. Everyone, please mute yourselves and also answer our question in the chat.
Yes, please. If you haven't seen it.
Yeah. Our question is, what do you do or say that's like your mom? So come on, drop those. I saw some people saying they cook,
People use of expletives, which is my personal favorite. Yes.
Yes.
Brittany, what do you do? What do you do like your do you do anything that's like your mom?
Well, the folks on the street would say I do everything like my mom, like she's sitting out and I'm just right. Same. Yeah.
I look exactly like my mother. I do everything like her is what I've been told. That's the word on the street as well.
Right. I'm trying to work on like throwing out, old clothes, because my mother says if you keep clothes they always come back in style, and I'm like, Mom, I don't think that's true.
My mom says that too. I don't think that's inaccurate.
Yeah, some of the stuff should be like, I've had this since 1984, and I'd be like, it came back. That pantsuit looked real good.
I'm saying the 80s are also kind of making a comeback. I'm just,
That's true. You can pull those shoulder pads off. You can.
But you didn't. You're young. I lived through the 80s. You're younger than I am. So I have very mixed feelings about shoulder pads coming back in. So please put it in the chat if you have, other than expletives or anything that you do or say that is like your mom.
Absolutely. Oh, Susan Steeple said she never says shut up.
Nice. Good.
Somebody else said they don't use any curse words.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's good.
My mom never curses, but I did not get that trait from her.
My mom does not curse either, and I also did not get that trait.
Did not inherit that part at all.
No, not even close. I even sometimes have let out one, and I have to say, "Oh, my bad, Mom. Please forgive me." Like, I'm grown, but I'm still like, oops, sorry.
Oh, 100%. And then every time when one slides out of my mom's mouth on the rare occasion, I'm like, Sarah!
How could you?
Well, I'm my mother. Exactly. All right. Oh, so we also, for those of you in our, I was what said studio audience. In our audience, we have a poll. Should we bring up the poll?
Absolutely.
All right. We have a little poll for everyone. What type of mom are you?
Everyone participate. I have kids. My kids are grown. A mom, I can barely take care of myself. I still feel like that personally.
I feel that one resonates. I feel that one in my soul. Yes.
Yeah. A fur mom or not for me. See what we get. All right, I'm gonna vote.
Do you have pets? I know you have a daughter, but are you a fur mom, Brittany?
I am not. Okay. I grew up with a lovely cat named Jermaine. We had him for 13 years.
That's a great name.
Jermaine Jackson. I just don't think he can be replaced. I just don't think
I was hoping it was going to be Jermaine Jackson, and now that's amazing.
Yes. What about you?
I have a Shih Tzu rescue. His name is Baxter. I've had him. We had our gotcha day on May 7th.
Oh,
4 years.
4 years.
And he's never gotten me flowers, no thank you card, no nothing. All just goes by every year. Like I'm here. You're lucky. You're welcome. All right. Do we have the results of our poll?
Oh yeah. Let's pop those up.
I'm excited.
Oh, my kids are grown. Okay, my kids are grown.
Kids are grown. All right.
Okay.
Only 7%. I can barely take care of myself. I like to add myself into that mix.
Right. That's what I voted, Megan. I'm a part of
Did
it.
you? I didn't vote. Because I'm torn between fur mom and I can barely
That's
take
true.
care of
And that one. Yeah. Okay.
Well, this is exciting, you guys.
Welcome.
So I feel like we should introduce the lady behind everything.
Yeah. The
The woman of the hour.
lady in charge. Yeah.
Yeah, boss lady. Yes, Lisa Adler. Woo! Yes, Lisa.
Hello. How you doing, everybody? Thank you all for being here on our Mom's Day, Mom's Tale special. And I want to welcome everybody here. I know many of you are moms, so thank you for spending your day after Mother's Day with you. And I'm a mom, and my daughter just got home from college yesterday. We just brought her home from her dorm. And here's Sophie. Say hi.
Sophie. Oh my gosh, Sophie is so
Hi. She's here.
Oh my gosh, Sophie.
Throw up that pic. Throw up that pic of her as a little baby on the set. Just fun. We got that there. She got it. I'll see if it comes up. But we got a couple
with
of
you
them.
and Jeff. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
look at that sweet little baby. Oh my goodness. It's a little.
What set is that?
Let's see. That's Negro dance lesson. So yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Amazing.
I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Anyway, but yeah, she's a little baby and so sweet. So she grew up on the set, and she grew up making little straw houses made of straws of stir sticks from the concession stand back in the back during she'd make like little houses and things. And now she wants to be in interior design and maybe architecture. So there you go.
Oh my God, that's
How to
amazing.
start with stir sticks. So say bye again.
Somewhere.
She's gonna go watch my mom actually ended up being here with us during COVID, and she's across the street. So it's been our COVID year with my mom and then my daughter. There's my mom. See, she's there you go. Yay. We didn't take down the Christmas tree because she liked it. So the Christmas tree.
No, keep that up all year.
I love it. I love it.
So there's my mom. Hey, mom, put her back up. Ben put his face in. Where's Ben? Is he up there? Oh, is he here? Well, come on over here. So one more introduction, and you get to go. This is Sophie's boyfriend Ben. Say hey, Ben.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, there you go.
Hello.
Anyway, okay, enough introductions. That's enough. Okay. All right. So get on with it. I'm done with my little thing. So thank you. We've got such great people. Carolyn Cook, who you've seen on stage so many times. Terry Burrell, who was not only in a stage here, the Alliance with their holiday show this year, and she was a part of Horizon's COVID year because she was in Love M, this wonderful show that we did. And then Brittany is going to be an online show on Thursday with us, and she's going to tell a story. So I'll tell you more about that online show. And then we have Melissa Fay Greene, this wonderful, wonderful writer, Praying for Sheetrock, the Temple Bombing, which the Alliance adapted into a play. And we are thrilled that she could join us and tell a story about her big blended family of 9 international people, family from all over the world. 9. Yeah. So we're excited to see them. So I'll get on with it so they can go. Okay, you guys go. All right.
Thanks,
Love you, Lisa.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the job.
Yes. Do we want to bring up our first guest, Brent?
I think it's a great time.
I think it's time. I will let we need to also let you know it's pre-record. This first one is pre-recorded because she is actually now in Denver with her family for the first time since COVID, which is exciting.
Yes. So our first storyteller this evening is Miss Melissa Fay Greene. She is the author of 6 books of nonfiction. Her work has been translated into 12 languages and has been honored with many awards. She was inducted into the Georgia Writers Hall of Fame in 2011. She is a regular contributor to The Atlantic and has written for the New York Times, The New Yorker, The Washington Post, New York Magazine, Newsweek, and other magazines. Melissa is the Kirk Distinguished Writer in Residence at Agnes Scott College and a Distinguished Visiting Professor at Grady College of Journalism of the University of Georgia. A native of Macon, Georgia, and a 1975 graduate of Oberlin College, Melissa and her husband, prominent defense attorney Don Samuel, live in Atlanta, and are parents of 9 and grandparents of 2. Melissa Fay Greene.
Yes.
That's a lot of kids.
A lot.
Here is an essay of mine entitled 5 Books, 9 Children that I wrote 10 years ago. You really don't have favorites. There's something special about that firstborn, though. You dove into first-time motherhood and first-time book publishing with the same wide-eyed, open-mouthed look on your face as Flounder in Animal House, who, as the street parade erupts into a riot, pants, "Oh boy, is this great!" Eagerly and naively, you scurried down the paths and made the appointments and leaped the hurdles that billions mothers and thousands authors scurried, made, and leaped before you. You marveled at or whined about each moment as if it had never happened before to anyone else. The baby's heartbeat, the publishing lunches in Manhattan involving radicchio and goat cheese, the baby's first kick, the editor-in-chief loves the first draft, the surprise baby shower, the great book reviews, and then, alas, the dirty diapers, the bookstores that don't even carry your book, the sleep deprivation, the reviewer who feels your nonfiction narrative overlooked an important milestone in the story. To this day, she looks almost too slender to you, your firstborn, your daughter, so slight and yet strong and vibrant, with a winning laugh, dark eyes, and a fall of glossy hair. Your first book also looks a little too thin to you. There was that 90-page treatment of Reconstruction that you tried to defend and preserve by telling your editor, "Jane, if they don't read about Reconstruction, they won't understand the end of the book." And she snarled back, "Melissa, if they read about Reconstruction, no one will get to the end of the book. Get rid of it." Your second book, unlike your tall, thin second child, has the opposite problem, a tendency towards chubbiness. Because your first editor wasn't around for your second book, it ballooned. Reconstruction may have been mentioned. When people compliment your second book, you want to say, "Oh, but wait till it gets back from weight loss summer camp. It will really be fit then." And there it sits now, next to its older sibling, 5 years younger, but taking up a lot more shelf space. You clocked your life against the coming into being of these creations. You were forever pregnant with a child or a book, nursing a baby or a book, or in process with an adoption or a book, usually two at once. Maine, 1987, walking along the rocky coast, pregnant with Lee, and thinking about your future book, Praying for Sheetrock. 1992, Washington, D.C., accepting the Robert F. Kennedy Book Award for Sheetrock, so pregnant with Lily that you warned Ethel Kennedy you might give birth right there at Hickory Hill before the end of the luncheon. And she, the mother of 11, laughed and said, "We can do that." Addis Ababa, 2003, researching There Is No Me Without You while tearing around the city by taxi with 9-year-old Fisaha. Sometimes the burgeoning youth of the household threaten the existence of the incipient prose. Children destroy office supplies, you learned, making them an occupational hazard for a writer. Your precious espresso fine point pens with which you write your books longhand are missing. If you can find any of them in the Lego bin or outside in the grass or between the sofa cushions, their tips have been ground down to nubs and their caps are missing. You reach for a paper clip and find that 100 paper clips have been linked together by someone. They rise from your drawer like a bicycle chain. You turn the pages of your notebook to discover that 5-year-old Lily has filled up every page with the rectangular, no torso magic marker creatures she calls her silly monsters. At one point, the only copy that exists of the book proposal for the temple bombing has 50 of its pages welded together by melted Tootsie Roll. Melted in the sense that the Tootsie Roll went into someone's mouth, reemerged, and landed on the book proposal, which had been recklessly left by its author in the backseat of the car, itself a collection point for decaying food substances of all kinds, a mobile compost heap. As you scrape the proposal off, drench it, and dab it with paper towels, because computers haven't been invented yet, and you need this carefully typed copy, you think, I should send this proposal to the publisher so they will know precisely whom they're dealing with, a mother. 5-year-old Helen arrives in Atlanta from an Ethiopian orphanage in February 2002. She's intrigued by all the middle-class gadgetry, but perhaps most of all by your home office answering machine. You do not know that she has mastered it. She has just arrived from Ethiopian orphanage. Your messages are sounding increasingly strange. What? Hello? I'm trying to reach Melissa Fay Greene. Click. Oh, this must be a wrong number. Click. Hello, this is ABC News. We're trying to reach Melissa Fay Greene. Click, click, click. It finally occurs to you to check the outgoing message on the machine. In a sweet, high-pitched, giggly voice, your office answering machine says, "Hi, this is Helen, and this is my butt." What follows is a farting noise of a wildly blown Bronx cheer. You don't ever hear from ABC News again. When Lily is a baby, you're invited to interview the great humor columnist of American domestic life, Irma Bombeck, the Daytonian author of bestsellers like I Lost Everything in the Postnatal Depression and The Grass is Always Greener Over the Septic Tank. As you dash around trying to leave the house in time to catch your flight, you discover that your business tape recorder is missing. You find it in little Molly and Seth's bedroom with the zippity doo-dot tape quadruply wrapped around and entangled with its inner mechanisms. In desperation, you snatch the chubby red and white Fisher-Price preschool tape recorder from baby Lily's room and you're on your way. When you open your briefcase and set up the preschool tape recorder before your interview subject, Irma Bombeck, to her credit, does not visibly flinch. You find and remove the baby Beluga cassette and spin it with a professional flick of the wrist into your briefcase before popping in a blank one. Later, you discover that you've conducted the entire interview while wearing a nursing bra with both flaps down. But hey, if you can't do that with Irma Bombeck, really, who can you do it with? Would you have changed anything in the last 29 years of raising children and writing books? Nothing big. Maybe fewer tropical fish and reptiles. Maybe the children could have offered to cook dinner more often. If you'd had fewer children, would you have written more books? No. If you'd written fewer books, would you have had more children? Possibly. But let's ask these questions the other way around. Though it seems counterintuitive, would you have written fewer books if you'd had fewer children? Yes, because children generate a spirit of playfulness, imagination, and hilarity that's extremely conducive to the creation of art, literature, any creative work in the few hours of peace and sanity they allot to you. They have all, the books and the children, grown up together, with or without reconstruction, and whether or not they leave the house requiring reconstruction, you wanted them all.
Yes, that was so good.
Yeah,
Thank you, Melissa. That was amazing.
that was so good.
This is the book that a lot of these stories are in.
Okay,
That's great.
that's
So good.
wonderful. What was it like going to the grocery store?
Oh God.
Okay, that's a good response. That's a good response.
Just gigantic, just gigantic grocery carts, gigantic quantities
Yeah.
of milk and noodles. And I'm not that great a cook, which
Was there a particularly funny or interesting story about cultural adaptation of bringing in kids from different cultures, countries? They were young. Well, some of them were young, some weren't that young when you brought them over.
well, our son Fisaha, who came at 10, had been a goat herd. Actually, all the Ethiopian boys had been goat herds.
Oh my gosh.
And he was used to living sort of off in the fields and sleeping out in the fields because he had to protect the goats from various predators. And when he first came, we noticed that we suddenly had little huts springing up all over the yard in Druid Hills. And he was building little huts, I guess, in case we had him sleep outside. His first days were just so sweet and funny. We took him on a walk one day soon after he arrived, And we had at that point a little elderly dachshund, and we were all on a walk, and we turned back, and he was carrying the dachshund on the dachshund's walk, and he said, "Very small, Mom, very small." And I think it was like a baby goat or something. You couldn't leave it behind because there were predators. There were, something could eat
Like hold
the
on.
dachshund. And I always remember this time of year when the mulberries come out, that was his first week was when the mulberries were coming out, and I was on a walk with him and showed him that we could eat the berries from the trees, because I love those. I always stop on my walk and have them. And he was all over it. He was all over it. And he quickly gathered some large leaves, and there was a stream, and he used the stream and shaped a bowl out of the leaves, and then rapidly gathered the berries and brought them home and put them on the table. Like he gathered breakfast. He brought home breakfast for the family. I think about that every year this time when I see the berries.
So Melissa, what are you working on now? Let's tell us what's going on in your life now. So you were continuing to write and moved on to the next phase of whatever you're working on.
Yeah, I've become a regular contributor to The Atlantic. I published an article last summer which revisited the grotesque orphanages in Romania under the dictator Nicolae Ceausescu, and I was able to find one survivor of some of the worst, the really terrifying. They were like concentration camps for children, and I found a survivor of that world, and then I interviewed some neuroscientists and psychologists who have been studying some of those children who suffered phenomenally profound neglect. And I recommend it for Mother's Day, actually, because it's an article about love and about how all that little stuff we do with babies and all of that, the fact that when the baby cries, you go. We're wired to go, and you go. And when the baby does her little kick and laughs, you laugh back. And if the baby has something that makes her a little sad, you're sad too. All of that stuff is fundamental to brain development. And what the neuroscientists who studied the neglected children of Romania learned was that without it, the brain doesn't develop.
Yeah.
And so the way we interact with little kids and the love that we shower them with it's not like icing on the cake. It is absolutely central and will help them develop into loving people. And they can't do that without it. So, I'm still enjoying researching and writing, and I'm teaching writing at Agnes Scott College and also at the Grady School of Journalism at UGA.
So you're a grandma now, and so what's great about being a grandma? Because this is Mother's Day, but it's Grandma's Day too,
They are we just have the two sweetest, most adorable little grandchildren in the world. Our grandson is 4.5 and lives in Denver, but our baby granddaughter just turned 1.5 and lives in Atlanta. And I have been taking care of her every day of the pandemic. So I won that aspect of the pandemic. Lost the other part. We laughed so much. My husband and I laughed so much with this granddaughter. Our kids taught her some basic sign language, which a lot of parents do now, which is awesome.
Yes,
so,
we do that.
So they use a sign language book. So she does more, and she does all done, and she does milk. But just with nothing but more and all done, she rules the world.
We do more, and I think our book is all done. And then we go eat. Those are the only 3. And she chuckles through all of them. I go more, and she goes, yes.
What's funny is she uses all done in all kinds of places. And I took her to visit a friend after we both got vaccinated. I took her to visit one of my friends, and she, she's like your baby. She's a pandemic baby. And we walked in and sat down, and she immediately, like she just didn't want to be there. Like she didn't like my friend. She didn't want to be there. And my friend's like, what is she doing? Is she trying to wave? And so I said,
She wants to leave.
No, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think she's trying to wave. And Ray's like, Ray's like, get at it. Let's get out of here.
I'm over it. I'm over it. Abort. I love it.
My mom said that my first word was bye-bye, so that like it would be, we'd be in the middle of something and I'd be like, bye-bye. Done. Like done.
That's it. No more talking.
Bye-bye. Yeah, exactly. That was fantastic. Yes. All right, you guys. It's time for our next storyteller. She is an actor, playwright, and activist. She co-founded Blacked, and her original play, Sundays at 4, won Best Play at the Atlanta Black Theater Festival in October of 2019. And you have seen her at Horizon and Sweetwater Taste, Freaky Friday, and Madeline's Christmas. And she is my co-host extraordinaire. So please welcome to the virtual stage, Brittany Miniweather. Woo! Yes.
Okay, this is the very true story of our first trip to the emergency room. Picture it. I give birth on June 19th, 2020. That's right, pandemic time. And the first week goes by the book. I'm exhausted. My husband's exhausted. The baby is beautiful and precious. Oh, the second week, well, she won't stop crying. I mean, it's just the second week of life and she cries all day and all night. And I'm not exaggerating. My mama came down about a month after the baby was born to help. And what do you know? The baby kept crying. It got so bad, my mama got herself a glass of wine at 3 p.m. She was stressed. So we asked the doctor about all the crying, and the doctor says the baby has colic, and there's nothing for us really to do. For real? Dictionary.com definition of colic: severe, often fluctuating pain in the abdomen caused by gas or obstruction in the intestines, and suffered especially by babies. My baby only weighs 8 pounds and her little stomach hurts all the time and I can't help. I feel bad. I mean, but the crying, okay. Now, if the doctor says there's nothing you can do and the baby cries all day and all night, it's hard to realize when something else could be wrong. So one Friday when the baby is crying, I don't think anything of it. Then the baby starts coughing and I'm like, uh-oh, COVID. But then you think maybe all that crying choked the baby up. No big deal, no big deal. Again, the doctor said there's nothing we can do. We move into Saturday and the baby is still crying, coughing occasionally, again, COVID. I actually had a Zoom play reading that night. And to be honest, I just wanted to get the baby peaceful so I could do this reading. Like, please, shh. Like I'm trying to be creative. Oh, I want to be clear. We took this kid's temperature like every hour, normal. So all the crying and coughing, we can't forget about good old COVID. All right. So back to Saturday. It's about 5:15 and the baby starts wheezing. Oh my God, wheezing. And then she sneezes once and a huge yellow blob comes out of her nose. I mean, it was so yellow, like green, so nasty, like a yellow greenish balloon. Like, how did that come out of your face? You get it? Okay, good. At this point, we call the doctor again and we ask, what should we do? The nurse says, this sounds important enough to patch us through to the real doctor. Thanks. Okay. We get the pediatrician on the phone and she says she doesn't like how the baby is breathing. You don't like her breathing, doc? Do you think she has COVID? She says she's not sure. And she tells us we should get ready to go to urgent care or the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta emergency room. Really? Oh man, I'm disappointed. I got to back out of my reading. I was looking forward to this. I mean, I had my character ready and everything. I was ready to exercise my actor muscle. But I mean, I guess the kid's health comes first. All right. So my husband is off and that's good because he needs to drive. I don't feel like driving and I'm sleep deprived. So we decided to go to urgent care first, since it's closer to the house. We get there, go straight to the back. They take the baby's vitals. Everything is normal. And you know what they say? They say she is too little and they don't feel comfortable treating her. Okay. You're supposed to be the professionals. Dang. Okay, off we go to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta emergency room. It's 30 minutes away, and not bad if the baby wasn't crying, but pretty long when the baby is crying. Okay, we get there. Some of this is fuzzy. Like, I remember going to the wrong entrance, dropping my mask on the ground outside. It's starting to rain, trying to hail my husband back to bring the car because we're not in the right spot, asking the lady inside if she has another mask when PPE is really hard to find. And all this happened, but the order is a blur because maybe it all happened at the same time, and maybe because I'm sleep deprived, and maybe because I'm a new mom and I'm slowly losing my mind. Yeah. All right. Finally, we get to the right spot and walk through a long white tunnel hallway. There's about 4 other kids with their parents waiting. And I get nervous, like, how long is this going to take? They take her vitals. Again, normal. Whew. She is still crying, to be clear. Okay. After about 15 minutes, we get a room. Not bad. I think, okay, thank goodness. The hospital bed is big, clearly, but there's only one chair. So I sit on a chair and my husband sits on the bed with the baby. All right, I'm in the chair. This very nice nurse comes into the room, takes her vitals, normal. And she says she can pretty much say she doesn't have COVID, but we'll wait on the doctor to see if they want to run some other tests. Whew, okay, good. No COVID. We wait about another 30 minutes. Finally, the doctor comes in and he's in the room with us for about 20 seconds. And he says, and I quote, "I know what this is," and leaves. Wait, where'd he go? He comes back a few minutes later with a Q-tip and some Vaseline. He tells us our baby has colic. Yeah, we know. He tells us there's nothing we can do about it. Yeah, we know. He tells us that both his daughters had colic and how it drove him and his wife crazy. Yeah, we can imagine. All right. And then he takes down my baby's diaper and he says, she just needs to poop. And he proceeds to take the Q-tip, put it in the Vaseline, and put it in my baby's booty. And what do you know? It makes her poop. She stops crying. What? We should have been helping her poop? Personally, I feel like a failure. I mean, why didn't I know this trick? Why has she been struggling so hard? Then he rinses her nose with a little water. She begins to holler again, but I pull out my boob. Then she calms down. So we ask if we need to buy anything. He says, some Q-tips and Vaseline. I say, that's it? He says, that's it. He tells us, sit tight, and he'll give us discharge instructions. Now, since my baby has been crying all day and just got her booty worked on, she goes to sleep. Thank God. But the discharge takes another 45 minutes. And I'm like, can we please just go home? Finally, we get home. Dang. That night, I put the baby's bassinet on the floor. I sleep beside her, and it's the best sleep she's had in her whole life. Thank you, Doc, for the Q-tips and Vaseline. Now I need y'all to know that we helped her use the bathroom like this for the next couple of months because she was constantly crying because she didn't poop. Then the pediatrician tells us to stop or she'll never go on her own. Well, damn, we're just trying to help. She gives us some new milk at her 4-month appointment, finally some relief. Now, when the baby is about 6 months old, we get a bill from urgent care. Remember urgent care? They couldn't treat her because she was too little? Remember the one that sent us away? Yeah, that one. Yeah, we get a bill from them and it says we owe them $196. I'm like, all right now, that's stupid. But whatever. Soon after, we get a bill from the emergency room. $867. $867. $867 for some Vaseline and Q-tips. Man, shoot. Never again. The next appointment with the pediatrician, I asked, how do we know when we have to go to the emergency room? Because that was expensive. Her response was, you can never be too safe, and babies are expensive. I think to myself, we need a new doctor. And that is the very true story of our first trip to the emergency room.
Yes, that was
Wow.
amazing.
I totally don't know that trick. I never heard that before in my life. That is wild.
It works. It works. I just, for so many months.
God, that's good for everybody to know. They need to, I probably do publish that on the internet, but I never heard it before. I didn't have a colicky baby, but still, wow, man.
That was an expensive poop.
Yeah. Why did it cost so much? Like, I think he should have written in the file, like, just gave them some Q-tips and Vaseline, give them a discount. Like, I don't, like, we took nothing.
You know what? Don't let me go there about the health situation in our country. Do not let me go there, people. So
Yeah.
Charge you for sending and set you away and charge you $200.
Yeah. How dare you? How dare you?
And you didn't get to do your reading.
I didn't get to do my reading. I'm telling you. I was so sad. Shout out to my friend Brittany Horton. I really wanted to do it.
that was thank you to your friend for Brittany, the other Brittany, for jumping in.
Yeah.
Your daughter's already stealing your spotlight, Britt.
I know. Why you got to be sick tonight?
Somebody says back in her day, they gave the baby fennel seed. I never heard of fennel seed either.
Gosh.
Good to know. See, we need to publish these baby internet tips.
Yeah. We all need some help. It's all like, oh, they just got to suffer through. What? We all suffering. She's not sleeping. She's not even happy during the day.
Watch out, Brittany. Your daughter's going to pull an All About Eve on you one day. I mean, I could imagine how heightened everything was for you, because it already I would imagine is stressful to begin with. And then with COVID, right?
Yeah. Like they don't want you to go, into the hospitals and stuff. Like I remember walking up to urgent care, and before we even went inside, like they came out and checked all of us. Of course, things, we still got to be careful now, but they were out. My husband walked up first and he was like, we just have our baby. Can you just help our baby? And they were like, okay, come in.
Right.
Like, what, were you not going to help us? Like,
I know. What is that about?
And then still didn't want to help my baby. Oh, I was mad. But she slept good that night. What'd you say?
Did she cry at all? Was she crying? Did she sleep at all? Or was she crying and not sleeping?
She was like, she would cry all day, and then she'd sleep in like spurts at night, but she'd just wake up like this wail, like she was just so uncomfortable. And I just felt so bad. Like, poor kid. I mean, my mama said I had colic too, but she took me to the daycare and then I was fine. I was like, well, Mama, I don't have a daycare. It's COVID.
Like, I am daycare. Needing to poop does make you cranky. I mean, that's fact.
Most people get cranky.
Real cranky. Yeah, exactly. On that note,
That's a great segue.
Perfect segue to our musical guest.
Yeah. Oh, you guys, I'm so excited for my friend, Miss India Tyree. I know you all have seen her all over town. She is an actor, musician. She's been on stage at the Alliance, Aurora Theater, all over Atlanta. And she will be singing in honor of all the moms out there and a pure dedication to Grandma Shirley. She says, she instilled in me my love for music and singing, and she has shown me how important it is to be selfless and think of others.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. Happy Mother's Day. I am India S. Tyree, and I am so excited to share with you an original piece I wrote this year for Mother's Day in dedication to my grandmother, Shirley Ann Muse Tyree. She is so beautiful, and she raised me and my sisters, all four of us, effortlessly, beautifully, with selflessness and patience, and I just love her so much. She introduced to me my love of music, and so it's no other way to dedicate my love than through a song. So I hope you all enjoy this beautiful piece. It made me emotional while I was writing it, so I hope you all enjoy.
Not a selfish bone in your body. No, 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 no. You are built of strength and love inside. The times when I'm feeling down and lonely. You remind me there's no need to hide. So much I owe you, so much I have to give back. I'm undeserving, and yet the Lord still gave me you. How many so-called friends up and left my side? You're always one call away. Oh, 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 mama. Oh, 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 yeah. Oh, mama. Yeah. Born and raised as a Virginian girl, Westward Road was our own little world. My granny made sure we had food on our plates, made a little bit of money go a long, long way. Outside, my sisters would go out and play with my cousins up and down the street. We run all day, street lights and granny calls to come inside to get ready for early mornings and morningside. Baptist church, she sits and plays and gives the praise. Despite the pain, her love remains. I take the stand, begin to sing. I take the stand, begin to sing. I can't deny what I feel inside. Finding my passion while I'm looking in my grandma's eyes. If this is what love is, then please, please stay. If this is what love is, never go away. So much I owe you, so much I have to give back. I'm undeserving, and yet the Lord still gave me you. How many so-called friends up and left my side? Oh, you're always one call away. Oh, yeah. Oh, mama. Where would I be? Where would I be? Yeah. Oh, oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, mama. Where would I be? Where would I be? Yeah. Where would I be? Where would I be?
Oh, that was great, India. That was like making me tear up. That was so beautiful.
I know when Grandma Shirley came up at the end, I was already
Oh, I know.
That got me. Oh, I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, India. Thank you.
India, she is like multi-task. Is there anything she can't do?
No.
She's amazing.
No, nothing.
Yeah. Have we should we lap back around and see if anybody said anything in the chats about what they do, like their mom? Let's see.
Somebody said, cook, don't throw anything away.
Okay, fair enough. I do that too. My mom doesn't throw anything away.
No, nothing.
Yeah. Oh, that hit the spot. That's a great expression. I feel like that should sweep the nation. Why is that not like in everyone's, why isn't that still like that hit the spot?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, people don't say that anymore.
No, why not? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Let's Zoom pinky swear to bring that back. I'm gonna start saying it every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it to my baby. Did I hit the spot? I'm sure she'll just go.
What does she do? What does she go? What is it you said? She does more and eat
more, and she goes.
Then she laughs. That's it.
So I'm gonna say, does that hit the spot? And I'm sure she'll go.
Almost like I guess a splash maniacal, and I'm here for it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love this one that says, my mom and I are watching this together. She watches the stock market like her mom, and I peel an orange in the exact odd same way she does, says Nadia and Monica to everyone.
Oh,
I
very
love that.
cool.
Orange peeling and stock market watching. Nice.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
Like
very
you're
specific.
earthy and like brainy. Like I like
I
that.
know.
Combined.
Lisa,
Best
what do you
quality.
do? Like, what do you do like your mom, Lisa?
I was trying to think about that. I really was, I said Jeff, and Jeff didn't understand the questions. Like, I don't know what I don't know about my mom.
Yeah. What about Sophie? Does Sophie do anything that's like you?
You know, I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah, I think.
I feel like we need to, if she's
Oh,
around,
we all have a control problem. I will tell you that.
Okay.
What?
Lisa's mom has a thumbs up. Lisa's mom has a thumbs up.
yeah, Lisa's
I
mom's
think,
like,
I think everybody that works for me can attest to that. So, but
I mean,
you know,
You know.
it's all right. You get it back because your daughter has it too. So you know, we control each other, and it's just, you know, so.
Work.
oh,
Circle of
I-
life.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have kids of my own, but I mean, when I've taught kids, and you swear you're not going to say something like because I said so, but
And
you
then you
will
do.
say because I said so. Like that just comes out quickly. Yeah,
Oh, I can't wait till those words work.
she's probably gonna laugh at you. She's gonna laugh at you, Brittany. Like real talk.
One time I said, no, ma'am. And y'all, she took my finger and grabbed it and put it down. I said, what? She's not even a year old. I'm not making that up. I promise I'm not making that up.
No, and you told me this story. I
Okay,
know
okay.
that's not. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
When Sophie was little, I was working at home, you know, when she was really little, and she had a little toy telephone, and she would pick up the phone, and when I was working, she'd go, uh-huh, 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 uh-huh.
I feel like that tracks. That tracks. Yeah.
When my son was 3, he looked at me and he said, we need to talk.
Oh my God. Wow. That's intense.
Oh my God.
I want to know what he needed to talk about.
I don't know. Juliana said that. That's hilarious. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys think we can bring up our next storyteller?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes. All right. Coming next to our virtual stage is the incomparable Carolyn Cook. She feels right at home here at Horizon, having performed, directed, and served as a dialect coach many times over the last 30 years. You may know her from Project Dawn, Citizens Market, my personal favorite, The City of Conversation, Detroit, and many other Horizon favorites. She's also a veteran of other Atlanta stages, including Georgia Shakespeare, The Alliance, Theatrical Outfit, Actors Express, 7 Stages, and Theater Emery. Carolyn is the founder and producing artistic director of Theater de Rêve. Did I say it right, Megan? Theater
Yeah.
de Rêve?
Theatre du Rev, right?
Theater de Rêve, yes.
Yeah.
Theater
Good enough.
Green, Atlanta's unique French language theater company, now celebrating its 25th anniversary season.
25 years, that's crazy.
No,
What?
I know.
You're
Guys,
right.
please let's welcome Miss Carolyn Cook to our stage.
Well, it's Mother's Day again. My 24th as a mother and my 60th as a daughter, but who's counting, right? Now, I know exactly what to give my mother, flowers and chocolate. So that's taken care of. So I was thinking about making her a card, you know, like we used to, or writing her a letter. But she won't remember what it says. So this year, I'm writing to a different mother, one who has a lot on her plate right now. She has a teenager and a career, and she just found out that her mother has dementia. She's going through a rough time. She's me 10 years ago. Here's the letter. Dear 50-year-old me. Hi, how you doing? I've been thinking about you a lot lately. As I picture it, you're sitting in the conference room at the neurologist's office. They've done a thorough workup on your mother, MRI, physical, blood tests, questionnaires. Now you have the diagnosis everyone expected. She has dementia. They actually say it's mild cognitive impairment, which may or may not progress, but you know where this is going. You know it's progressive. You know your mom is going to experience the same things you saw your grandmother go through: memory loss, paranoia, anxiety, frustration. You're heartbroken, angry, and scared. You love your mom. You want her to be okay for her sake and for yours, because this disease is going to change both your lives. You're thinking, if only we could turn back the clock to a time when mom was healthy, or turn it even further back to a time when people got old and died before their brains were susceptible to dementia. Oh, if only we could speed up the clock and live in the future we all dream of, a future where dementia has been cured, where we all take a miracle vaccine at 50 and live out our days without cognitive impairment. But you don't live in that halcyon past or that miracle future. You live now, and she lives now. And you are going to have to deal with this. So let me give you a list of things that you can do, and some you can't, as you move forward. 1, you can't fix it. Dementia is real. Of course, you're going to read all the books and go to all the support groups and learn all the techniques for dealing with dementia. You're going to give it everything you've got, because you don't want your mom to suffer, and you are sure that if you just learn one more therapeutic intervention, you will break through and she'll be fine and everything will go back to normal. But it won't. 2, you can't keep her happy all the time. You have spent a lifetime trying to keep her happy. Happy with your schoolwork, happy with your prom date, happy on your wedding day, happy with her grandchildren. Everybody wants a happy mom. But she's a human being, and her emotions are going to fluctuate. Sometimes she'll be sad or angry, and dementia is going to magnify those feelings. You can help her feel better, but you can't make her life perfect. It never was, and it never will be, even if you miraculously become the perfect daughter, which is another thing you can't do. 3, you can't stop living your own life. You have work and a marriage and friendships, a family of your own. You have precious years with your own offspring. You may think you can sacrifice your creative life, but you're going to need it now more than ever. You need to make things and build things and craft things and learn things and write things. You need to grow. You can't let yourself stagnate, or you will succumb to bitterness and resentment. And number 4, you can't medicate it away. The medical profession has not come up with a way to cure dementia. All the pills can do is slow down the cognitive decline in some cases and reduce some of the anxiety. So you're going to have to make hard decisions about how much medication you're willing to give your mom, and you'll learn as much as you can about what helps and what doesn't and what's dangerous, but medication is not going to give her a meaningful life. Only human interaction can do that. It was true before her dementia, and it's true now. More true than ever. So, what can you do, my dear younger self? What can you manage to accomplish in these remaining years with your precious, irritating, annoying, irrational, endearing mother. Well, here's what I've discovered in the last 10, count them 10 years. 1, you can love her. Not every minute, and not every day, and not perfectly, but yes, you can love her through this. You can hold her hand, sing with her, share meals with her, and get to know her just as she is. 2, you can learn to slow down. You will hate this at times because you like to go and accomplish what you assume are wonderful things. But just as you slowed down and suddenly saw the world in a new way when your child was born, you can slow down with the frail creature your mother has become. You can see the leaves change in autumn. You can marvel at the crisp, clear blue of the sky. You can laugh at silly jokes again. Life doesn't have to go so fast. 3, you can ask for help. I know you like to be self-reliant. So does she. You're just like her in that way. But look how bravely she's accepting your help. Look how she's letting you take over things she always managed on her own. She is setting a fine example. Follow it. Reach out to other people, to your church, to your friends. Work out that care schedule with your family. Ask for what she needs at the assisted living. You don't have to do this alone. 4, you can learn new skills. Yeah, maybe you thought you had learned all the life skills you were ever going to need by the time you were 50. Well, think again. You will be amazed at what you're going to learn about spiritual growth, brain science, medical care, bedside manner, scheduling, financial planning, creativity, nature, music, art, you name it. Your education is far from over. Never doubt your capacity to learn. And 5, you can survive. You think this is going to kill you, but it won't. It will kill her in the long run. Something is going to kill us all. And that's one of the many things that this disease is teaching you, teaching all of us. Death comes to everyone with or without a certain amount of pain. When you visit the assisted living or share your life with friends and family, you're going to experience many losses. You will attend funerals and say goodbye to many beautiful souls. One day, you'll say goodbye to her. But your life will go on. You will stop at some point and realize that you survived this, that you got through it, that you're a different person because of it, that you grew. Why not stop and acknowledge that now? Well, that's what I've learned so far, younger self. Actually, I've learned a lot more, but I think that's enough for one letter. The rest is details. How to lift her spirits, how to figure out what she can still do, how to take care of yourself. We'll talk about all that. For now, I just want to tell you that I love you and I trust you. And I know you're gonna be fine because I am your future self. And you're the one who taught me all of this. So 50-year-old me. Happy Mother's Day.
That was beautiful, Carol. Oh my God, Carol, that was so beautiful.
Clamped.
Oh, that's a good word.
Yeah, for sure.
That was so tough to hear.
I just think of that play that we do. Remember, Carolyn, the one that reading we did, where you did the gibberish of that affected me so much.
Oh yeah,
Remember that?
Absence,
right? We
That's
did
a beautiful play.
Yes,
So
because-
good. Yeah.
play reading, and Carolyn played. I can't remember the details of it, but did you play the mom? You played the
No,
mom.
I played the
Daughter, right?
daughter of a woman who was progressing in her dementia, and I hadn't gotten the play before the first table read, and we were just reading along, and all of a sudden I realized what is happening to this poor woman.
Oh no.
And it got to this line, and somebody was saying, oh God, come on, Barbara. I think my character's name was Barbara. Come on, Barbara, what do you want? And the next line on the page was, I want my mom back. And it was so devastating.
We cast Carol in this role knowing she was going through this at the time. And there was a point in the play where this guy had a brilliant way of showing it, that the characters were talking to each other in gibberish, and communicating through complete nonsense. And it was so, because the woman could not remember the words, so she was just saying anything. It was so moving.
It was really a beautiful, beautiful piece.
Yeah.
There's been so much good work written around dementia, and I have to say there's a lot of sadness. It really has been a growing experience for me to be with my mom. I'm not going to lie, it's hard. I'm very fortunate that we have such great caregivers at a beautiful assisted living that's 5 minutes from my house. I mean, it's like, if you have to go through this, definitely, I feel really, really lucky. But oh my gosh, the person is still in there. That has been the discovery for the whole time. And it really has been 10 years, a little more than 10 years since she's been down here. And it was already part of our lives before she moved to Atlanta. So,
you told me great stories coming in from rehearsal about going for your walks with mom, going through the garden area in the fall leaves. I remember you telling me that story one time coming.
Yeah, she notices things and she doesn't move that fast. So you're like, oh my flowers. I mean, it's just like, you don't have to, there really is such beauty in the moment. And the fact that she is not necessarily going to remember that moment kind of makes it all that more precious, So we have so much fun just looking at books and pictures. My sister and I were visiting the other day, and she pulled down this. We buy like the big coffee table books at the Goodwill for $2, and just to and I know we've looked at it before. Turn every page. Oh my goodness, that koala is so cute. It's just fantastic. So there are really good sites.
I just really good say thank you, Carolyn, for that story. I think my mom is still on, but she was a caregiver for my grandmother, who just passed. Well, I guess not just passed, but 2018, and she had dementia for about 5 years before that.
Wow,
so hard, and just trying to feel like you're doing enough. And I would always say, "Mom, you're doing enough." And so just hearing you say that, I hope her Zoom's still. But
Brittany's mom, you did enough.
Yes, she did enough, So thank you, Carolyn, for sharing.
Now, where is your daughter now? You've got a wonderful daughter, and what does she do for you on Mother's Day?
My kiddo is living in the state of Maine,
Oh,
and working and finishing up college. And we had a fantastic conversation on Mother's Day. It was just the phone rang, and I was like, I know who this is. It was really nice. You know, it's that phase of life, 24, where you know, my child is grown, but we have a great time talking with each other, and I'm really hoping that my husband and I will get up there this summer and be able to help out. They bought a fixer-upper, so you know there's work to do.
Oh my gosh, bring your tools, huh?
That's right.
That's great. Well, that's a wonderful time to know your daughter as an adult and all the beauty that that you gave to her in growing up. So she also grew up in the theater too.
Plenty of time backstage at Horizon. Yes,
exactly. For sure. Yeah.
Well,
thank you.
Oh, I'm so grateful. Thank you.
That was beautiful, Carolyn.
thank you for sharing your heart with us, and you're just amazing. Such an inspiration, Carolyn. You're amazing.
I'm in good company.
All right. Oh, promote your thing coming up though.
Yeah,
Théâtre du Rêve thing.
well, yeah, a couple of Théâtre du Rêve, which means theater of the dream, which is I named it after my dream of acting in French, and so we produce in theater in French and English and bilingually and with super titles, or if it's on Zoom or on a screen, subtitles. But in any case, we have a fantastic event coming up next Sunday. And let's see, I'm going to put theatredurev.com in the chat here. And it is a salon. It's a couple of hours on a Sunday afternoon where we do some readings. We have, oh, thank you so much. Where we have some entertainment and some readings and a signature cocktail. And we've been exploring different regions of the French-speaking world. So this Sunday, we're going to be exploring Francophone West Africa. So we have a guest from Senegal, and we have some readings of some scenes from Cameroon. And gosh, our actors are amazing. We have Enoch King and Marcellus Cutler, Deanna Davis, and Deshawn Garrett. And then our directors are Gary Yates and Eric Little. And our dramaturgs on this are Amina McIntyre and Adaye Moon. So it's a fantastic team. We would love, love, love to have you. So there's the website. And if you go on the website, scroll down just a little bit on the right, it'll say RSVP now for our next salon. Just click on that and you're in.
Oh,
yeah.
That's gonna be amazing.
This next Sunday, right?
Next Sunday, the 16th. Yeah. Yeah. And if you need more information, it's Carolyn at theatredurev.com.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Carolyn.
Carolyn.
Carolyn. Brittany, I think is it time to bring up our final guest for the night?
I think so. Just one more storyteller. Went so fast.
I know, it's so fast. I'm like sad. This has been such a great night, but let's bring up our last storyteller, you guys. She has appeared on Broadway, off Broadway, in shows like Thoroughly Modern Millie, Almost Heaven, and she is a very familiar face at the Alliance and Horizon, having appeared in everything from Ever After to The Kink in My Hair. Oh, and did I mention she has a one-woman show, Ethel? I mean, you guys, the list goes on and on and on. She is an Atlanta favorite. So please welcome our final storyteller, Tyree Burrell. Woo!
Unmute myself. Okay. You know, my mom was basically a peasant. I heard myself saying that to my husband one day after I had shared with him some story that involved my mother. Now, for the life of me, I don't even remember what the story was. But in that moment, the sentiment felt apropos. So before you think otherwise, that word was said and it was meant with absolute warmth, humor, and affection, which, by the way, aptly describes her personality. Now, for the purposes of this piece, I actually Googled what a peasant was and did in medieval times. And she kind of fit those traits. Okay, no, I mean, she didn't amuse herself with bear baiting and mud wrestling or, heaven forbid, drunkenness. But according to Google, most peasants were salt of the earth, simple kind of folks, very loyal to their clan, and toiled on land owned by others because feeding and maintaining their clan was numero uno. But they could elevate their status if they could manage to own their own land. Well, my mom, who never worked outside of her home, managed to elevate her status by opening up a private daycare. Besides her own 4 children, there were an additional 6 who she practically raised. And when that ended, she fostered children from the Spence Chapin Adoption Agency until they were placed, and ended up officially adopting 3 of them as her own. She was an entrepreneur before any of us even heard the word or knew what it meant. When I was about 12, she began accompanying my sister Debbie and I to our voice lessons at the Ansonia Hotel on 72nd Street in New York City. Now, we were by no means wealthy, yet somehow she managed to scrape together the money needed to pay for them. And she continued to do so for another year, even when she had to go with holes in she drawers. At least that's what she told us. Now, I don't know if it was true or not since I never saw them, but I would never question her veracity. My world around her is full of so many happy yet poignant memories. I remember after the voice lessons, the 3 of us would share a Needix hot dog broken into 3 mostly even pieces and 1 glass of Needix orangeade before we headed back to Queens. The very last time she was hospitalized, I managed to visit with her early one morning before my rehearsal for 3 Penny Opera. I seized that opportunity to thank her profusely for what an awesome mom she had been to me, expressed to her how blessed I felt that God had entrusted me to her care. And because I had expressed this to her on another occasion, I re-emphasized what a brave and courageous woman I was seeing before me, even if she wasn't aware of it, and how heartening it had been for me to have witnessed how successfully she had navigated her life, given her sometimes funky circumstances. She couldn't verbalize at the time, but I could read in her expression that she understood everything that was being said to her. That took place at the end of her life. So let me begin at the beginning, her eulogy. Well, not the usual kind of beginning, I know. But because I was tasked with delivering hers, I had to cast back in my memory to the beginning of what I remembered of this resplendent being who for the rest of her life, my siblings and I called Mommy. The challenge for me was that I couldn't look at the life she and I shared in simple linear fashion. Instead, they came to me in flashes and sometimes out of sequence. Flash. Running and ripping in the yard with my sisters and the kids in the daycare, who by now are our friends, when Mommy steps out of the back door and down the steps, holding the familiar but really beaten up muffin tin full of either the still warm blueberry or cherry tarts that she'd just taken out of the oven. I can still see how radiant she looked, hair pulled back and clad in one of her A-line dresses with an apron tied around her neat little waist. Always a huge, sweet smile on her face. Flash, Mommy, standing in front of the basement kitchen sink, teaching me the lyrics to Don't Take Your Love From Me. I'm lapping up those words like a little brown sponge as they spill from her mouth, while she very patiently sings it for what must have been my 6th request to repeat them. She never once said no. Flash, it's my 10th birthday. And I'm sick as a dog. My little body is hot, yet I'm violently shivering. I'm aware in my feverish haze that Mommy is in and out of the room, checking on me, asking how I'm feeling. Her voice is muted, and everything she does, kissing my forehead, taking my temperature, or covering me with an extra blanket, is done so gently it feels like I may be dreaming of an angel's presence. What I didn't know till a few hours later, and I was feeling better, was that she and Daddy had planned a surprise birthday party for me. And when I heard there was going to be homemade coconut yellow cake and ice cream, illness done completely. Flash, reveling in the look of such profuse love and pride beaming from her whenever she came to support me in a show I was in. And by the time intermission rolled around, you better believe that everybody seated near her knew who she was and our relation to each other. She was born Sybil Elinas Leandro Lazarus in Tunapuna, Trinidad and Tobago, 1928. She was born with an extraordinary voice and was even once offered a spot on a radio show. But she never got the opportunity to use it professionally because in those days, good girls didn't go into show business. But that lost opportunity allowed her to live vicariously through me and my sister. Her biological mom, Camalita, was a mixture of Black, Venezuelan, Indian, and Spanish. And her dad, Joseph Bicharat Lazarus, was pure Lebanese. He'd immigrated to Trinidad to study for the priesthood. But when he met my grandmother, well, let's just say that the Pope lost one for the team. One day, some hospital personnel who hadn't yet realized her silence was due to the several strokes she'd endured, assumed instead that because of the way she looked, that it was more likely that she didn't speak English. So they held up signs written in Greek, Spanish, and Italian. I wasn't there for the moment, but it makes me chuckle to imagine the look on her face and what she was probably thinking. You see, despite the fact that she looked by dint of birth like she could have been fluent in any one of those languages, Mommy never considered herself anything other than a proud Black woman, period, end of story. And she passed that same awareness and pride in my mostly African origins onto me and my siblings. The friends Mommy had, she kept close, and they became like family, no matter their economic, social, or racial differences. Through her guidance, she was able to endow my siblings and I with the warmth of friendship for each other and the sentiment of sisterhood with my closest female pals, whose DNA happened to span the globe. She'd do anything she could for them, but if you crossed her, she'd not ever forget it and act accordingly. Yep, got that from her too. I suppose the most profound thing she gave me was life itself. And despite my ignorant youth, she somehow managed with lots of prayer to shepherd me safely to becoming the woman I am today, a confident woman who has traveled to places Sybil could only have dreamt of. She chose to stay home, keeping the hearth fires burning and ready for my return, eager to hear all about my global adventures. In moments which seem to come more often these days, I can't help but pause when I happen to catch my mirrored reflection and the unmistakable impression of her face on mine, especially her eyes, but not just the shape. Now that I have traveled more than a few miles to womanhood, I can candidly read the meaning behind those eyes, and I so deeply understand. And I am so much more appreciative of her wisdom. I beseeched her when I was, I think, 11, to allow me to wear high-heeled shoes and stockings. I believe I even tried to bribe her with the promise of her favorite, a Hershey's chocolate candy bar every week with nuts. Her response was classic Sybil. You only have one childhood, so don't rush it. Enjoy it. No. Once in a while, unbidden tears will fall when that conscious part of my mind catches itself engaged in some spontaneous act of love and sacrifice for my family. I am intimately aware in that moment that it's something I have watched her do so many times. It has become my legacy. Sybil Elinas Leandro Lazarus, Sunrise, Tunapuna, Trinidad and Tobago, 1928. Sybil Elinas Leandro Lazarus Burrell, Sunset, Jamaica, Queens, New York, 2007.
Yes, Lori, that was beautiful.
Oh,
Thank you.
What an amazing.
I was hoping that wouldn't get me this time.
Yes. Beautiful. Your mom sounds like she was amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, I'm a little choked up. Give me a second.
That was it was fun to hear about her, because I know when we talked to you about coming to do the kink and you write, we're like, oh my gosh, this is my life, you know.
You know, Lisa, when I read that script, I knew who that woman was.
I know you did.
You know, I knew who she was. And even though that character was Jamaican, I played her more as a Trinidadian, because all the island people, they're not exactly the same, but I knew her immediately. Yeah.
What a beautiful tribute. I mean, I've been keeping it together, right? But I was just really, man, you and Carolyn got me shook. I'm just upset over here. I didn't have my mom on Mother's Day. I missed my grandmama. You told the story so beautiful. I know I'm much younger, but I remember wanting to wear high heel shoes.
Oh, same, me too.
Being told, don't be too grown too soon.
That's right. And bras.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. Pantyhose. I wanted pantyhose and high heels.
All of it.
Me too. Well, pantyhose. And my mother was like, "You only have one childhood, yeah."
Yeah.
Now, did you find yourself ever visiting Trinidad? Have you been to Trinidad? Have you have relatives there?
Yes, several times. As a matter of fact, the last time I went, we were celebrating my husband's birthday, and I went to Chagaramas, which is where we were born, because my father was an American, so we were born on the American base. And I took pictures, and I said, when I send these to my sisters, because they've never gone.
Oh, really?
Said, they're gonna cry. They're gonna feel the connection.
Oh, sure.
And I'm constantly encouraging them to go, because I said, when you go and you encounter those Trini people, you're going to understand yourself on such a deeper level. You're going to get you in a very different way, you know. And I love it, especially the food. Wouldn't live there, but I still have family there, so.
Yeah.
It's great to be able to visit. That's really wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, what are you doing now? Where are you at? You're not in Atlanta. You are somewhere else right now.
Yeah.
Right now, I am in Hilton Head, South Carolina, or South Kakalaki.
Yeah.
Lucky, that's right.
Carolina,
That's
South Kakalaki. And I'm at the Arts Coastal Center Theater, and I'm doing a Johnny Mercer piece. It's just me and one other actor and a musician on piano. So it's basically 3 characters, and we're doing it. I mean, it's just amazing, his music. You hear it and you didn't even know he wrote that piece of music. It's beautiful.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
And
long is the show running?
it's running all this week. Saturday is our last day, and Sunday I head back to Atlanta. Hotland.
Well, if you have not seen Terry, she did this play, Love M. It's on our website, and she did a really beautiful job on this play. It's a very Mother's Day play. We just promoted it in our emails. We see it. It's 2 mothers and sons around the early days of the AIDS crisis and about a healing journey they go on. And Terry did just a gorgeous job in that wonderful online piece. So thrilled that you could do that. So
Yeah.
Great.
It was by Clorinda Ross.
Yes.
Oh, she's great.
Yeah, she is. She's a wonderful person.
Yeah.
So good.
Well, stay on, Terry. Stay on. We're gonna
Little curtain call here.
Yeah.
Day off.
Bring up all our performers.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Carolyn's bringing up. Yay. So we're thrilled that everybody could join us for Mother's Day. And we've got another show coming up this week that Brittany is in. It's called Earth Love. It's called The Earth Love, a big theatrical feast of short plays for Earth Day 2 weeks late. So it's things about the environment, and they're all different kinds of things. I saw Shay Youngblood is on here. We're doing one of Shay's plays that we're doing a reading from. So please join us. It's
fantastic story last month. Amazing meeting, having lunch with Sidney Poitier. And no big deal. Like what?
No big deal. No big deal.
Shay and Sidney Poitier. No big deal. Yeah. So we think, because you guys go for it. Close out, you guys.
Yes. And I'm Megan.
I'm Brittany.
And this has been Southbound True Life Tales
from the ATL and Beyond.
Yes, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye. Thank you.